Guys, if you're looking for ways to skip the trip to the post office and dodge all the hectic holiday shopping traffic, why not save time and money with Stamps.com? Stamps.com lets you compare rates and print labels and access exclusive discounts on UPS and USPS services all year long. It just makes sense, especially if your business sends more mail and packages during the holidays. Whether you're selling online or running an office or a side hustle, Stamps.com can save you so much time, money, and stress during the holiday season. Access all the post office and UPS shipping services you need without taking the trip. And get discounts, guys. You can't find these anywhere else. Like up to 40% off USPS rates and 75% off UPS. Going to the post office instead of using Stamps.com, it's like taking the stairs instead of the elevator. If you're just going up a few flights of stairs, sure, to get that exercise in, guys. But if you're walking up 30 flights a day, man, you need a break. If you spend more than a few minutes a week dealing with mail, any type of shipping, Stamps.com is a lifesaver. You'll save so much time and money, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. Save time and money this holiday season with Stamps.com. Sign up with promo code POD for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com and click the microphone at the top of the page and enter code POD.
Mm-hmm. She's a TikTok junkie now.
Yeah. And we are live, guys. That was Joe's girlfriend's TikTok.
That's awesome.
Background. Plug her TikTok. What's her TikTok?
What's your TikTok?
Iggy underscore Gilly underscore mom.
There you go. Iggy underscore whatever at
Iggy underscore Gilly underscore mom.
That's it on TikTok.
Yeah, so follow her and tell her you came from us, and then she'll probably block you or something.
Like I have Joe.
Yeah, block me. You're about to block me in real life too.
What's going on, Laurie? How are you? That was Joe. Didn't realize we were going live there, guys. He was checking out his significant others TikTok, and I hit go live on them.
I would have done the same to you.
What's going on, Laurie? How are things? Got some stuff. We don't have a guest this week. Got some stuff to talk about. 26 days, I think, is the countdown now, Joe.
Yeah.
I've been doing it. I've been plugging that daily on Twitter. We let the cat out of the bag on what it is, and we actually shown you a picture of what it is, and that's we're not going to see. Well, we'll probably still see this banner, but it'll be on a different wall.
You won't see all the pictures on the fridge anymore.
We might talk Joe into bringing some magnets into the studio with us.
Well, I want to show you the one I want to bring.
We're going into a legit, like it is for all intents and purposes. It's a radio studio that we're going into.
This is the one magnet I'll bring.
There you go, Veterans Crisis. Yes, that's a very freaking important magnet.
So that's the one magnet I'll bring.
The Veterans Crisis Line. Hold it up again. I want to read the phone number off. Veterans Crisis Line, 1-800-273-8255. Press 1.
You can also text to 838-255.
I think what's the number per day? The veteran suicide, like 23 or something?
22 a day.
So we want to bring that number down by about 22.
Yeah.
You know, it's a place. I'm not a veteran. You are. I can say with all sincerity, it's a thought process that I've had not so long ago. Joe, I know you've been in the same boat.
Yeah, I'm in that boat quite often.
If you guys need to talk, like I have trouble opening up to people on stuff. Joe, I think you're probably the same way a lot.
It's tough for me to open up. Like I've opened up to you a lot.
Yeah.
And it's tough for me to open up to someone new until I get that feeling.
But because I just can't. But like my DMs, our DMs, whether it's me, Joe, or the Irish Whip, we check them all, and those are all open for you guys. If you call and say you're having an issue like that, I am not a professional. Joe is not a professional. We're going to suggest you get professional help. But if you want to call and vent, if you want to call and just have somebody listen to you and give you an open ear, then we're here for you.
Absolutely.
So, but if you are feeling that way, get help.
You know, if you want, I'll put out JP's phone number right now. I wouldn't do that, but seriously, guys.
I was waiting for you to start saying it.
I'll put out, you know, you got me there. You can get me on in Twitter, on Instagram. Those of you who have me on Facebook, you can find me on Facebook. I'm not hard to find. I'm always there for anybody who needs help.
That's it. What's up, Bobby D? Bobby D is the man.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby's like plugging us away everywhere. Like I've gone to other podcasts in the chat rooms, and Bobby D is there plugging the Irish Whip. I love
That's awesome.
Saturday, August 18th, 5 p.m. in South Boston at the Ironworkers Union Hall. Go and see Bobby D. Go and see Pat from UFO. Dolly, the December 18th.
Okay.
I can't make it. Yeah, 2 weeks. Go see Darley Decimo. The champ will be in the house. There'll be Peter Hurricane Joe. You remember the Tyson fights?
I do. I remember watching that when I was in Hawaii in the Navy.
Hurricane Peter McNeely, Massachusetts native that got knocked out by Mike Tyson pretty famously in like 18 seconds. Will be in the house, and from what I understand, there's some people that are in the pro wrestling industry that aren't too happy that another celebrity is coming into their house.
Oh.
There's people that feel like a pro wrestler spot has been taken.
So before walking in the door, there's heat.
I don't want to say much else on what I know. I actually was texting with the person today, and I know they're not real happy about it.
I don't know. Never met Peter McNeely. I watched the fight. And if what I saw in the fight holds true, a strong breeze might stop the hurricane.
I don't know. I don't know, but I'll say this: the person who has heat knows, and that's a hint to the people. If you know, you know.
Ooh.
So
we could probably see Peter McNeely try to hold his own in a wrestling ring.
Listen, Peter's got a punch. You know, he didn't make it to where he made it.
Yep. I'll give him that. Like, he'll probably look at me and I'll fall down.
So, and that, I mean, there's going to be so many. And also there's the Battle Royal where the winner gets a $500. Guys, I would get it in cash from Pat Dillon, not from check. I'm just kidding. Pat's one of my.
He just got those new rubber ones.
Yeah. So, but 20-man Battle Royal. This is the Battle Royal is replacing the Battle Royal that would have happened at their Halloween show in October. I don't think this show in general is a makeup for that, although it is for the same charity for the I believe it's for the Tynan boys, the Tynan, which something I know you hold near and dear.
Where I grew up,
where I got all my wedgies.
No, you got some of them were at St. Peter's.
Yeah, this is true, but most of them were at the Tynan, and most of them were my fault. I can remember as a kid walking into the middle of the Tynan kids my age alone because I was dared to and start just throwing eggs at them and then running.
Yeah,
I wasn't fast. I was not fast. No.
Kind of like if anybody remembers the original Jumanji, runs like he's the last rhino in the herd. That's like about maybe a half block away.
I literally jumped into the back of a pickup truck and hid.
Yeah.
And they all ran past me, but then when I got home, there was eggs all over my house. Oh yeah, I knew all these people. They all knew me. What up, Shiz? BlackHart, I'm sure will be in the house on December 18th too.
But that's the way it was back then, though. We had no real ill will. It wasn't like it was one corner to one corner. We can't get you, we get your house.
That's it.
You know.
And if they got me, I would have got, I probably would have got a little bit of a beating, but it would have been fun.
Nah, I don't think you ever got a beating. A beaten beat,
That's
you never got the boot,
So there'll be December 18th. BlackHart says he's in the house at the Iron Workers Union Hall in South Boston. It's right on O'Colony Ave. So real easy to find. There's usually plenty of parking on the street there. There's a parking lot. I don't know if that's open to the public or not, though. Bobby D will be there. You can get there by T as well by getting off at either Andrew or Broadway Station. It's right in the middle. So, guys, get there. Support the cause. UFO always puts on a great show. It will be fun, like guaranteed fun wrestling. That's
You said you won't be there?
I won't. No, I have a family commitment that day. So
I might show up.
It's Now, the other part, though, is wrestling news. One-man thrill ride. So Jimmy Preston, one-man thrill ride. Hopefully we can still get him on the show. We had talked to him about a month ago, and he said he was down, but he got some news today. It sounds like he had talked to somebody at WWE, and they basically told him they're going with Jimmy's maybe late 30s, early 40s. So he's older. He's been around for a while. Really good, has a great body. He's a true athlete. Like he was a baseball player before he was a wrestler, and he is Jimmy is a sports entertainer. So he's a big, larger than life personality, a larger than life person. But with the WWE telling him basically they were going to be going with kids out of college and that type of thing, and he agrees that that's a smart move for them. He is going to step away from pro wrestling completely, which is sad for the New England area because I sent him a message tonight and I just said, I spent years hating you. I didn't know you. I didn't like you. Didn't like your character. I didn't like what it was. And then I watched him do a few things and I caught stuff that I realized it wasn't him. It was what he was putting off, and he did it the right way. And he was a very true professional.
And that's when it comes off, like, to go back to DC Dillinger.
Yes. Yeah. So
he made you hate him, but he wasn't that person. He knew how to be the gimmick and how to be the person.
Right. And Jimmy had a million little slogans, and he was actually Jimmy was so good at wrestling promos, he was getting hired by Major League Baseball and the NFL to go and give teams pep talks. He was hired for a while. He was doing stuff for Barstool Sports. Like, this guy was just incredible at what he did. And once, it's sad that he didn't get the chance to do it on the scale he wanted to. And Jimmy, I hope to see you back in it sometime, but I hope you're able to get your dreams and go larger than life and do whatever you want.
And that's the thing. It's like I know it hurts that you don't get to live the dream on the grandest scale, but I think living the dream even on a smaller scale, like, indies, but like a traveling indie,
right?
It's still pretty good, and it's no shame in that.
Nope. I told Brandino Davis, Brandon Langley, that was on a few weeks ago, which so we get money per show from the shows, and me and Joe, we decided we can't make money off of that show last week. This isn't us being heroes. This isn't us being anything other than human. But all the money from all the proceeds from last week's show, when we had the show we had Brandon on, are going to Brandon and his medical bills. So
absolutely. And another big shout out when that's on that same line to Death Wish Coffee. The basket came.
Awesome.
And last I heard from him, he didn't. When I said how was it, he hasn't got back to me yet. So I'm sure it's always good.
He's just had surgery, so. But he but it's Brandon. When Brandon was a rookie, and I was doing security for UFO in Southie at their Turkey Rumble. Pat said to me a couple weeks before, "I have a rookie. He's going to go in the Turkey Rumble. Do you want to go in and do a spot with him?" Hell yeah! So I was actually announced in a wrestling match.
So you got to live your dream,
right? On that little scale, like you were just talking about. And I said that to Brandon the other day. Without Brandon, I don't know if that would have happened.
Well, and then on the same line, like, you never know what's going to happen when you put yourself out there.
That's
you put yourself out there, you put yourself on the line. You never know. Like when you and I ran into the ring that one time, I think it was in
when I fell.
In was that Braintree?
When I fell, it was
the time you got hit with the chair.
Oh, Holbrook.
In Holbrook, we ran in. You got your, we went to break up the match. Someone's down. You took a chair shot.
God damn you, Chris Pyro! I swear to God, Pyro. I'm not a wrestler, but I know a few. We coming for you.
I got to live my dream of seeing you get hit by a chair.
That's, yeah. Your dream was for you to be swinging it, though.
Well, I mean, see, it doesn't matter what scale the dream's at. My dream was to swing it, but it was still swung.
So Shiz just asked about Jeff Hardy. I mean, you were talking, but I think we were off air the whole time. I think it was before the show. So Jeff Hardy did get released earlier today, from what I understand. From what I get, there was some issue with a house show where he walked out of the ring and went through the audience and just left.
Yeah, I heard that.
And he got sent home. And from what I understand, WWE reached out and offered him help. By that, I assume what was meant was they offered him rehab, thinking it may have been drugs. From what I understand, he refused, and that's why he was released. That's hearsay, though. I don't know that for a fact. I'm not a reporter. It is sad, but it also, hopefully, one, he gets the help that he needs. For those who don't know, WWE pays for rehab for anyone that worked for them. It went under the radar a little bit, but me and Joe were talking about this. They paid for Moxley's rehab when Moxley went in for the alcohol rehab, which he's in now, I believe. WWE paid for that. That's a guy that's currently on the one roster that's trying to knock on their door.
Currently one of the top guys on the other roster.
So,
you
you think about that. And that's something that me and Joe in talking about that earlier. I was saying how WrestleMania 25, I was stationed with Kevin Nash at Booker T signing. And me and Kevin had a little time to talk, and Scott Hall had just entered rehab, and I said, I had asked how he was doing, and Kevin said it's great, and I said, oh, it's it just sucks you guys don't have insurance, and he went, oh no, Vince pays for it. So even back then, and I said, oh, that's really awesome, and he was like, yeah, he's like, Vince does it for anyone that's worked for him. So even back then, it's not something that just happened because they're a publicly traded company. This is something that happened when they were solely owned. And it wasn't public at that time.
Now, BlackHart's coming out and saying that if WWE is not paying his treatment, that AEW is paying it.
I bet you if that got submitted to WWE, though, that may be true. I don't know. That was what I had heard WWE was. And again, I'm not a news reporter by any means.
But regardless, I know WWE would pay for it.
Yes.
If you've ever worked a day for them, they pay for it. But now, the Jeff Hardy thing, if it is true that he left due to drugs and all that, I hope he gets the help he needs.
Right.
But I do have a conspiracy theorist mind. It makes me think there's been a lot of scuttlebutt about him joining AEW to tag with Matt for one last hurrah.
He actually just said that recently on Stone Cold's podcast.
So I kind of pay a little bit of credence to that maybe he did what he knew he had to do to get that cut. 90-day non-compete, he shows up in AEW.
Yeah, but he could have just asked for his release.
Yeah, but they probably wouldn't have done it for that. Because they knew they hear the rumors too,
So he had said on because Stone Cold asked him what he thought about one more run with Matt, and he said, I would love to. Who knows where it'll happen, though? Something along those lines.
Yeah, so I think at this point, having it happen in the WWE arena is probably slim to none.
Let's see. This is true. He's no spring chicken, Blackheart. He's been around for a minute or two. You got to remember, Matt and Jeff, like they were always the Hardy Boys, but they weren't always stars.
Yeah.
They used to come in and they were the jobber tag team when they were like 16, 17 years old wearing plaid fucking tights coming in from Omega. Like they've been at this for a long time.
And they started in the backyard.
Yeah.
But not backyard, if that makes sense. They weren't you see these backyard wrestling videos. No, they were putting on legit shows in their backyard.
Right.
And as much as they are older, but you know what? So isn't Jericho. He's still pushing. Yeah, there's word out there that he's talking about retiring, but he's still pushing through. Kenny Omega's not a young guy either. No. Cody Rhodes isn't that young either. So these people, and he just took a spot off the top of a full flaming table. Yeah, that left his back pretty scarred, but these guys that are out there, that's all they know. So I don't really put age as a factor into it.
And guys, one of my bosses is a wrestling fan, and we talk about it, and I'm explaining to him, like, you want to see these guys when they're younger, you got to go to the independent shows.
Yeah.
I was explaining to him, we were talking about Carmelo Hayes, who's the NXT North American champion that started training at the Belltime Club, was his first school. Like Bo Douglas was his first trainer. And he moved on from there to go to New England Pro Wrestling Academy and Chaotic, Brian Fury and those guys. And if you didn't see Christian Casanova doing a Michael Jackson impersonation, then you missed out on something that was really cool. And it's guys like Josh Briggs, August Gray, Anthony Green, Tommaso Ciampa, they all came out of the Northeast. But everybody in the WWE, 90% of them, I'll say, came from somewhere else on the independent level and moved up. So, except for Steiner's kid. Steiner's kid probably trained privately. But
Steiner's kid's probably been training his whole life.
Right. And we happen to find out, we knew, there's someone in Las Vegas that's training somebody's daughter right now,
Yeah.
like they have connections that we don't have, or that person doesn't have to, be in a class with other people that may unintentionally hurt them.
Well, not only that, though, that takes away from it. If you're going in there and so-and-so legend's child in with this group of other people, yeah, I think after a while, it might be even out, but they're going to come in there with this preconceived notion, not on the part of the child, but on the part of everyone else thinking, oh, this person thinks they're all that.
Now, BlackHart just asked what our opinion on WWE's partnership with the Next in Line program. I'll be honest with you, I am not familiar with that.
Neither am I.
I haven't watched a ton of WWE lately. I will watch NXT. I actually watched Raw, but the last full show I watched was the cage match there, the War Games, which I thought was outstanding with one match exception, maybe. I thought, like, people who don't realize, I saw some people sort of saying that the Carmelo Hayes and the new NXT 2.0 versus the original NXT guys wasn't that important. That was probably the most important match of this year in NXT.
Yeah, I just Googled that Next in Line program with the WWE.
Oh.
And basically, it goes back to like you were saying about the college athletes. It sets them up on a pathway to go right in.
So, Jimmy Preston, the one-man thrill ride, if you go follow him on YouTube, the video he just posted about that and him retiring from wrestling, he's somebody that's been a college athlete. He's been, like, I believe he played like minor league baseball. He's been in wrestling for years. And they just basically told him he's too old now. And they're going with the college. And he thinks it's a great idea. He thinks it's a smart business move. I don't know that I can argue with that.
Absolutely, especially when you think you get this college football player, say, that is good at football, but just not that good. But he has the physique and the look. He might do well in WWE.
I just hope that's a drink, guys, for those taking count. I just hope that it doesn't take all the spots away from some of the independent wrestlers, because there's people out there. I'm going to say this, like, nothing against AEW, nothing against all Elite Wrestling. Bear Country needs to be in the WWE as a tag team.
Yeah.
I think that so they need to be there. I think there's a few people that need to be in the WWE that are pro wrestlers and that are coming in as pro wrestlers.
But on the other side of that coin, there are people in WWE that would thrive at AEW.
Right. And I also think that there's college athletes that need to be pro wrestlers and don't know it yet.
Exactly. Exactly. You're not going to have everybody. I think you're still going to get the people coming from the indies, working their way up from scratch.
Here's the thing. T-Bar, right? Dominic Dijakovic. Dominic Dijak is how we know him here in New England. College athlete, NCAA, football. Josh Briggs, college athlete, NCAA, football. There's a lot of them that are there that just happen to go the wrestling route after college or during college. And this will help some of those guys out.
Yeah, it'll give them that little bit of a...
BlackHart, you're from Boston. It's Dijak. They added the O Vic later. It's Dijak. T-Bar.
Send him the link. Get his dumb ass on.
Get BlackHart on?
Yeah, get him on.
I don't know if I can at this point.
You send him that link?
I don't know if I can. I can, I guess. Let's see. BlackHart, if you want to come on, I'm going to send it to your. I'll send it to your Facebook in a second. But yeah, so I think it's a good idea. I think as long as it doesn't take all the spots. If it takes all the spots, I don't like it.
If they do it even, like a 1-for-1 or 2-2-1, right, or even if they take the college athletes that they pick and the indie athletes that should make it, and they do another Tough Enough or something like that. They do like another WWE reality show with them trying to who gets the next spot type thing. Which I can see them doing because they have their network, they have all that, and that would be very interesting to those in the industry.
Yep.
Those guys that have worked for 5, 6, 7, 8 years to get to that spot, and those guys that came out of 4 years of college football, and now they're being trained in the green.
Right. Speaking of football, Patriots are the favorite to win the Super Bowl this year.
They're saying it's going to be a Pats Tampa.
No, that's not what I want. I don't want that. I'm afraid like Brady and I'm a huge Patriots fan. That's the other sport I watch. Brady in the Super Bowl is unstoppable, and if the Pats aren't in there, I want Brady to win it. But if the Pats are there, fuck Brady.
And now, JP, you speaking of football, while we're on the subject, you know me. I'm an antagonist. I try to poke when I can. I'm at the studio the other day with the Gobshites. If you don't know the Gobshites, they're an Irish punk band. They're really good. Check them out.
They're all right. They're all right.
Yeah, if you like to drink beer and sing rowdy songs. But
or drink fake whiskey.
Yeah, that's true too. I got you on that one. But I was sitting there and they put the game over on the side. And of course, they're all Pats fans there. And of course, I have to say, I want the Bills.
Yeah. How'd you make out on that?
I mean, they lost, but I was only doing it to poke the fun.
So, you want to know how good of a coach Bill Belichick is?
He got the 2 off the first touchdown.
They beat the Buffalo Bills, who are a good team this year. Do you know how many passes the Patriots threw all game?
2.
They threw 3. They completed 2.
And they ran.
So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Is Black Guy getting on? Come on. We sent you the invite.
The link. Yeah, listen, there wasn't a planned guest, so if he comes on, cool.
There he is.
He wasn't planning.
Bring me in here. Hold up.
This is how we do this shit,
Black Guy. Listen, man, I had to get my little setup up real quick. I'm like, all right, then.
Yeah. Okay. This is how we do shit.
Me out. I'm responding. What up? You call me out. What's the word?
So, what's your feelings on this? On the Next in Line program.
By
the way, first off, let's tell them who you are in case they don't know. What's OTTR?
Before people think I just hijacked someone else's product, which is not really accurate here. You know me, I'm BlackHart, the head honcho here Off the Top Roast podcast, based right here in Boston, Massachusetts as well. What up to Big Joe and Big J on the Irish Whip podcast? Missed you guys. What's the word with it?
I'm going to go out on this and say, in a sense, you're like our brother podcast. You know what I'm saying? We've been on with you. You've been on with us. And I don't mean brother that way. Come on.
Brother.
We understand.
Bit. No, but you know what I mean.
I understand.
We've been on with you. You're on with us. We go back and forth. We share info.
Yes, sir.
We're a family.
Yeah, as long as it's the Boston-based OTTR guys, we're cool. Not those Houston.
That guy down in Texas can kick my ass.
Oh, man. Listen, even though we're on our season's break right now, that's why I'm just like kicking back, relaxing, shit like that. Just see how this whole thing unfolds till the next time we get season 5 up in January. That's when we'll be back live. So tune in for that.
We got to get you in studio in January. Then you're gonna have to come out to Quincy with us.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
We got a new little setup we're gonna be debuting in January. And
I can't wait for that. Yeah. Good stuff, boys. Good stuff, fellas.
We always like to say we're gonna change the way podcasts do things, and we're gonna change the way podcasts do things.
Oh yes.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna basically you have really nice equipment. You have a really nice setup.
I mean, this took a little doing. Shout out to CyberYeti, the underboss here at OTTR for the microphone stand and everything else. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in the situation at all. It wasn't for certain things falling into place. So beneficial that why I'm here.
We're gonna make sure every podcast has good.
Fellow Maverick. Maverick, what up, man?
Maverick, another one of the OTI. See this? We bring you on, and automatically we get more people.
And then you might never know. It could be a takeover. Yeah, we'll pop on our break. It's a takeover.
You see, because what we'll do is just give you some whiskey, and you'll be done.
Nah, pass me some Hennessy, and then I'll really be straight.
All that is like
something tells me BlackHart's not someone that just takes a pass and does a shot. I think BlackHart gets past something and then passes it. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You was waiting for that. You was waiting for that.
That's like your signature.
A little puff give.
Oh, I got you.
Puff pass, motherfucker.
That's the only way that you would notice me. I mean, it'll be so weird just not.
Hold on.
Yes.
You guys have only seen me at one UFO show.
Yes.
And that's the one UFO show I was sober.
Oh, Maverick. Okay.
Maverick saying
he's talking some shit today. He's probably hoping and praying that y'all be there on the 18th too, because he's gonna be in the building with me as well.
I think I should be able to be there.
I can't.
But I
do, Big Joe, man. You're gonna see. I'll say you're gonna see two of ours, but you'll have a couple of my associates with me as well. Not actually in the group, but they fuck with us. You know what I mean?
So Joe don't drink. I do.
Yeah. But then I've been sober for 26 years.
But I'll drink that Henny. I'll drink that Henny. Don't get me wrong. I'll take a. Usually, here's the trick. If you guys see me at a UFO show and I have like a 1 liter of Diet Pepsi on me, there's a good chance there's at least half a bottle of Captain's in there.
Make sure you have that bottle if you're drinking Hennessy, because you got to wash that nasty taste out of your mouth.
There is so much like that you have. So
nothing wrong with a little Remy or Henny, mix it with some Coke or Pepsi with ice. That's it. Just chill. That's it. Nice casual shit. People just want to go above and beyond and get totally drunk and wiped out their ass. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck y'all niggas can do it. No disrespect.
I was helping out at one of the UFO shows, and I was with Steve Beck. He used to be Reaper on the independent scene, and he was like, "Let's go over to the bar." This was at the Malden venue that had the bar across the way. And I was like, all right, and we're drinking. And it's like, what time is it? And it's like, oh, shit, it's midnight. And it's not a big deal normally. Like, if they had left without me, I would have Ubered home or whatever. I had the ring truck keys. And they couldn't find me.
And you were already gone, probably halfway home.
He was gone already.
Yeah, they were not. When I walked back over, I was like, do you guys need these? They weren't happy with me.
That's cool, bro.
All right, let's jump back into the NIT.
Yes, let's do that. So the next in line program that they're doing, it's a good start. I gotta say, it's a good start it's like now how we looking at professional wrestling now. It's like you gotta have a subculture to it. You know what I'm saying? Like basketball, like NBA needs the NCAA. You know, otherwise. How many of these draftees that comes into the fruition would help benefit each and every goddamn team? That actually makes half your roster.
You look at all these guys that, a lot of them have college or pro background.
So,
Mm-hmm.
And so right now, you still got them when they're young, so they can learn privately to understand. So when they graduate, like Gable Stevenson is in that similar situation right now, you're going to see that transformation start to happen, and now, through more likely NXT is going to have to be the avenue for him first, or the underling of the umbrella for WWE's developmental program, which is OVW, Deep South Wrestling, and this one more that I forgot what it was. Go through the ranks with that, they work your way up. So,
I think
it's
Florida.
good. It's good this far.
I think the other one was Florida Championship, which became NXT.
Now, with that, so the WWE is going to be recruiting college athletes.
Basically, yes.
I would think that they would also put that feeler out to those in the theater program. Not so much to be in ring,
but to be like managers.
Yeah, but they don't.
Valets, writers.
But WWE doesn't have managers of valets anymore.
WWE hates managers. And
they have no interest in them.
But I'm just saying, but there is an aspect of that program as well. Or on the other side of that coin again, will they be encouraging these college athletes, like I said earlier, that may not make it to the pros, but that might make it over, to take a subclass of theater or writing?
That should be a requirement.
Will there be some kind of encouragement for that? Because I think that would be a great tool.
I think that would be a great tool as well, too, Big Joe. I think that they really encourage them to do it instead, or make it a requirement as well. they'd be like, yo, in order for you to become a WWE superstar, you have to cut a promo. You have to do whatever. You have to be able to look the part, play the part. They got to teach you fully from scratch how to become a WWE superstar. Not just a professional wrestler. What the hell they want for one formula, one kind, one world. That's it.
Yeah, because if you can't cut a promo,
you can't sell yourself.
Christian when they were behind
Game Rock.
But there's ways around that. You look at like Ivan Koloff. People believed he didn't speak a word of English because his promos were all in Russian.
Yeah.
The truth is he didn't speak a fucking word of Russian.
That's true.
And people have always guessed about what he's saying. That's why they always did translate.
Right. And he would sneak in a word every once in a while that people would understand on purpose.
Yeah.
Now, I'm pretty damn sure if people really stick to the kayfabe and really stick with it, like MJF's mom and father and shit like that. His parents, off the wall crazy. But I mean, for this whole thing, I mean, as much as I just don't want, one set of athletes to go and only one set. Right. I believe everyone should be able to go and train underneath it, so at least you know the raw basis first before you get polished up to come onto the main roster, not just being thrown into the situation.
And with that, like Bobby D brings up a good point that it's not. He doesn't think it's right that the college wrestlers or college athletes should get in line. I think the indie guys should have a step above them. You've been breaking your ass for 4, 5, 6 years.
And he brings up the new Limitless Heavyweight Champion, Alec Price. And there is someone who's busting his ass. And he's right. In a way, that's why I keep saying, like, as long as it's not all they look for, as long as they don't, like, tunnel vision into these college athletes. Because
they're tunneling vision into these athletes. Like, there's no instance about that. That's like me tunneling vision one college player, right? That's about to come into the NFL or the NBA and shit like that. All eyes is going to be on that person. Now, the more people are watching, the more people out there actually wants to see that person and see how well can he do in a environment like that of some sort.
Maverick, if you want one of those hats, by the way, I think you have to be Irish.
Well, this one is
at least grew up in Southie.
This one's imported from Ireland. But I can hook you up with something else.
BlackHart, you qualify by default because you're from Southie.
By default. Shout out to Mel. Shout out to Mel anyway. But this next in line league, it's gonna be something that is like how we looked at NXT the first time.
Yes.
It's gonna keep developing, it's gonna keep getting better. Then you might never know. Once in a while, one person that might be the standout can actually,
But like I was saying to JP earlier, before we got interrupted.
He's Black Irish, folks.
But before we had you come on, it's like there will be that standout college athlete that has a built-in following from being a college athlete. That he may be second string, third string, or he may be the phenomenal kicker that's like just not going to make the pros because there's too many of those that year. Or whatever.
Well, look at it like this. Brian Pillman played for the Bengals.
Yeah.
Right. Goldberg, say what you will about his work rate, but played pro football.
Rock was Miami.
But like, I think biggest
Roman Reigns too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roman Reigns, Stone Cold, Bradshaw.
Yep. There's tons of people that we can go back and say that they played some professional sport in their past history.
Yeah, Kevin Nash was a college a college star in basketball until he blew his knees out.
Yep, and with that,
then he went into the army.
Yeah,
who would have thought that?
Blow your knees out, and then go into the army. Imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends on how you blow it out. You can be good enough to shoot a gun, but not good enough to shoot a ball.
Nah, I think you meant
I'd like to see
out of the socket wise.
I'd like to see how this plays out though, because I think there might be. I'm trying to put myself in the head of a WWE development. I see another reality show coming out of this.
I hope not.
Knowing what I know,
even though they already got the Tough Enough joint already, but we don't need to see another version.
Well,
but I think it would be all right. I mean,
or it'd be like a UFC fighter type of show.
Because what was the other one? It wasn't Tough Enough. There was another one when the network first started.
Yeah, I can't remember.
With ZZ from New Orleans and Josh the Yeti. Shoot.
Is that the one they had them all in the same house and they try to play it that way?
That's not like some like
Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn was one of the trainers.
Even he played. Did he play pro football, or at least college? I know.
I don't. He probably did.
Majority of all these people, a majority of that roster that we are probably naming, probably had.
But so this is where I see the reality show coming, is where they take these. Say the first year, they take this group of college athletes that they've hand selected, and they got to put them guys up against the indie guys that have come up. Not NXT, straight indie guys, like the top indie guys, and pull them up and see how, you're highly trained college athletes, you're highly trained indie wrestlers. Let's see how it goes.
Right.
Give the indie guys a quick, little bit of a lesson.
Or when they take these college kids, set it up and you send them off. So you send them, if they're from the Northeast, you send them to Belltime Club. You send them to New England Pro Wrestling Academy. If they're from down south, you send them to Booker T. Over in the West Coast, you send them over to Sin and D-Lo with their school.
Yeah.
And you make them train the way anyone else would train. Maybe they don't have to do the independent shows. I think they should. I think it's good to get in front of a small crowd before you got to take a step before you jump,
Oh, yeah.
And Breaking Ground was the name of the show I was trying to think of.
Breaking Ground.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, no, I never heard of that.
But with that, that's going to be a lot of red tape, though, JB. Like, I love that idea, but I think
you'd be surprised.
Promotions in schools.
So remember Jonah from.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with Joe on that one. That's going to undercut a lot of wrestling schools, though. Like, what if there's going to be people that's going to want to?
But it might also. But it's that's one of those coins that's staying straight up because they might, not too many people outside the greater Boston, Massachusetts, a little bit of New England area know about Belltime Club. You know.
Well, I'll say this: Belltime Club, and I don't want to put because it's their business. I'll let them put it out there. I don't know if they put pictures. But they had a visitor this week. They stayed hyped this week. I'll say that. They didn't get hyped. They stayed hyped this week with somebody who happened to stop in, was in the area, and wanted a little bit of ring time just to get in there with a couple of students and had a little, sort of session with the guys down there. So that happens. Like Kyle, remember Jonah from Tough Enough?
Yep.
When Jonah finished up with Tough Enough, WWE sent him to Kyle.
Nice.
And Kyle trained him for a bit. So like they do that if they know the trainer. And they know all the trainers because they bring Brian Fury. Well, Brian's out of the wrestling business now, but they brought Brian Fury down. They brought Sin down to train with the NXT guys and be a coach for the week. Guys like Mike Quackenbush, again, is out of the business now. But the top trainers have all been down to NXT a couple of times to teach. So.
And with that, though, but now I'm just weary on Will putting, say, the Belltime Club on WWE TV during this stage. They show in for a quick, hey, these guys are training.
Right.
Will that hinder or help?
No, because they usually won't name. If you notice, even when they name the trainers now, they'll say Brian Fury. They'll say Killer Kowalski. They won't say New England Pro Wrestling Academy. They'll say the name of the trainer. Yeah. So then you got to go on and Google.
Yeah, they're going to Google all that smaller stuff.
But
they should do it though, because why not? Yeah. Because that's helping because it's helping the smaller people out. Because at least now you might never know. Certain people that might have their doubts might actually be like, you know what? Now this is a school for me that now I really want to go to now. That actually would be that defining answer to so many unanswered questions that maybe people like myself that be like, you know what is this school? What if it isn't? But now that exposure kind of convinces you.
Right. And it lets people know, like as a kid, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. I knew Killer Kowalski's school was somewhere in the Boston area, back then, I mean, I was a kid a long ass time ago, and Google wasn't a thing.
Yeah, same here.
So finding it, like, and little did, like, Joe, someone we grew up with was a student. Two people we grew up with were students at Kowalski's. We just didn't ask the right people the right questions because things might have been a little different. Like, we both might have been fucking probably paralyzed right now because we're both uncoordinated as hell.
But also, JP, back then for us, I honestly, growing up, I didn't know about indie shows and indie wrestling.
No.
It wasn't really around us.
I knew about it because I saw posters, but I never went. And again, like, so Pat went to indie shows. Did you know Pat went to indie shows? Pat
I didn't
Dillon?
know that.
No.
Do you know who he went? Joe, do you know who he went with?
Mike?
No. Well, yes, actually. So Mike Hogan, Chopper, and Jimmy Canelli.
The people that we were hanging out every day.
This is all people that we saw every day, and we didn't realize. We all knew everyone was into wrestling, but like it wasn't. You know, you didn't want to be. It wasn't cool back then to be like, "Hey, I'm going to this show. You want to go?" You know, so it was like secretive.
It was like a secret society thing compared to me when I was a kid. To me, it was like the hardest thing since sliced bread, but it was cool to me. But other people didn't see it that way until a certain era came into play. That was when I was, you know, from I guess from the years 7 to 11 will be those 4 years. I think people was like, okay, I fuck with wrestling now because of these 4 years were actually great. You know what I mean?
But when JP and I were in that era of when we could have went to indie shows or we could have went to train, that was kind of like after the say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and before the Attitude Era, where there was that giant lull of there wasn't much that you saw.
But
you was saw your Saturday morning wrestling, you had all that, but there wasn't like nothing grabbed you. Wasn't any
back then too. From all the stories I've heard back then, even like that, like the late 80s, early 90s, like if you went into a wrestling school and I said I want to train, I want to learn how to wrestle. The first thing they were going to do is beat the shit out of you and see if you came back the next day.
Yeah.
Now you go
that
to a
happened
wrestling
walking
school.
up to the Tynan.
Yes. What's up, Tommy? Tommy, I still owe you a figure. I didn't forget that. I just started a new job. I will send it out on the 17th. I will get that out to you on the 17th.
We gonna bring that back?
Yes. I think in January, and I'm going to give away a couple figures from my collection. I have the ringside exclusive Undertaker is Kane figure that I'm going to give away, mint in box, unopened, and I have a the Edgeheads ringside exclusive. It's got the 3 heads. It's got him, and then it's got Hawkins and Ryder's head on there as well to go on the figure. So
Bobby D against BlackHart should have his own figure.
Hey, that's kind of dope. I never thought about that. Not even in my own fucking action figure.
I need an in-action figure. I need a guy on a couch.
Yeah, me and Joe.
but the first UFO show I remember went technically, I think it was 2018. It was the Big Bang one.
Okay.
Matter of fact, it was the one where Ernest and Cat Miller was wrestling that match.
So that was the match where I got lost, where I had the ring truck keys.
Oh wow! I could have met you that night then.
Because you probably did. Because the first half of the show, when Ernest was out signing autographs, I was with Ernest the whole night.
I think I probably did see you.
So yeah,
oh my god!
Because I was with one of the former members of the podcast too at the time. We were together. So
is there smoke? We want to know. Is there smoke? Come on. I'm only joking. We don't do that. Don't do it.
Only thing I'll ask about that is does he have another podcast now?
Stop it.
Does he have another podcast now?
No, don't provoke me.
The only smoke is coming out of the end of your blunt.
Yeah, thanks. So. Yeah, let's leave that one alone.
An interesting fact, JP.
I think for the betterment of the podcast, I'm gonna just leave this one cocky motherfucker alone because he don't think I know where the fuck he lives, and he don't think I'm gonna pop up to his motherfucking crib. Pick my name.
Right. Hold on. This is all just for anybody listening for legal purposes. This is all tentatively and in air quotes. So
this is a promo. How about that? This is a goddamn promo.
What? Me?
I'm going to hunt you down. I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to smash your face in front of these cameras, house windows, whatever that I can get my hands on.
Hold on.
Sure I'm going to rearrange your face.
Is he in Florida or is his name Nico?
No.
Because we've had a co-host like that. I've legitimately, I legitimately one day almost bought a plane ticket to Florida. I'm
about to buy a plane ticket to the UK to beat this motherfucker's ass.
But Tommy Flynn thinks I need his autograph, and I think Tommy Flynn is right.
Tommy Flynn, he should not need his own autograph. You should need my autograph. That's what I'm playing.
Tommy,
JP, I think we should get this former co-host of the podcast.
Nope, I wouldn't.
And BlackHart on the show together.
No.
Oh,
it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
It will never work. No.
There's no smoke.
All right, let's change subjects then. Interesting fact, JP. I think you are aware of this, but something we never thought of.
Whoa! Tommy Flynn put me on the table. What the heck?
Yep. I've never been to a UFO show.
Yeah, and you grew up with Pat. You grew up with Pat. You knew Pat since we were 10 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
Me and Joe would never knee high.
Little D Street dirt balls running around.
Well, Pat used to come. Yeah, Joe was, but Pat used to come up the point with us.
Proud.
So.
Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Pat used to come up the point.
Yeah.
Pat would come because Pat's older brother hung around with Joe and them. So Pat would come down, and Joe was the older kids to me, even though me and Joe were only a year or two apart. So Pat would come down with me and my friends, and that's how we all knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's yeah, and you've never been to a UFO show.
Wow.
And you've been to independent shows. I've been to independent shows with you.
Yeah.
We're gonna get BlackHart to some different shows.
Yeah.
I just.
I mean, UFO's great.
I just went to Beyond Wrestling's
the Thursday night.
Is
that the one that?
It was the one in Somerville, but it was a pay-per-view event.
Okay.
I went to that one. That one with Dukes, and that one was fire. No disrespect. Marsha Slamovich, love you, baby.
Oh, Marsha's my girl. She's man. You know who I don't know if she was at that show or not. Who I love.
Megan Byrne too. Megan Byrne too.
Layla
woman. Yes.
Oh man. If you have independentwrestling.tv, I don't know what it is. I think it's like $9.99 a month or something. They do this thing where it's a day in the life of a pro wrestler, and they get a week in the life of a pro wrestler. And
they basically I got the app too. Matter of fact.
So they just did one with her.
Ooh,
they just did a week in the life with her. It's out there now. I watched it the other day. It's great. She's such a larger than life character when she comes out and she's got her little the girls with her and stuff that that are her servants, I guess. But then to see her as like a regular person, and it's kind of cool to see the human side of her. And she doesn't. Her eyelashes are like permanent.
Yeah,
man. That's the thing. Like,
this is crazy, bro.
But I've always loved to see the other side of a wrestler. I want to see what type of person in real life, not your character.
Now,
yeah, that's beyond really like going behind that door, bro. That personal door. Like, I don't think wrestlers want that to be revealed unless they're open to it.
Right.
That's why we got Cody Rhodes doing that bullshit, like, and Miz too. There's certain people I don't see like a Roman Reigns doing that type of shit like that. Not like that unless he's already past that point. Like, okay, cool, he's fine with that, he's comfortable, or Rock. You know what I mean? I would like to see what the Riley's going to do just for 1 week.
But they're only showing you what they want to show you too. Like a very good pro wrestler did it. And he's been open about all of his character changes. He was Dasher Hatfield. He was he had a bunch of Chikara personalities that he was over the years. And he did this and like he let it out like he's a substitute teacher, or he's a grade school teacher, not a substitute teacher. And stuff like that. Like, it's like, oh shit, like this guy's really got a family, he's really got a life, like, and he's doing this on the weekends, and his, how his family supports it and how it affects them, and
especially nowadays where kayfabe isn't
It was also a way for these guys to do stuff like that. The series was at first a way for these guys to get something during the pandemic when there were no shows.
Yeah.
So, but guys, we are at an hour. BlackHart, tell us about the podcast, where we can find you in the podcast when it starts back up in January. I know you're going into what season?
You'll find him in the gutter.
Season 5, homies. You can't see us. We coming in. New theme song, new flavor, new special guests, maybe a new concept. And I got a little trivia show that I'm working on now as part of the extension of the podcast. So
you're still gonna have that bitch from Texas?
Joe wants all the smoke.
Cyber, you need to come at his neck. Oh shit!
Joe wants all the smoke.
Oh, he wants all the smoke. Cyber, you better get at him heavy, man. Listen, he calls you out and hey, listen, man, that was to you. That's not aiming at me. That was to you.
You know what comes out of Texas, right?
Oh shit!
Stairs in. I'm not saying that word.
I thought everything is bigger in Texas.
No, I've been to Texas.
It didn't get any bigger when he was there.
Yeah, it's the bigger shit pile.
Oh my god! But ladies and gentlemen, season 5 will be back January 16th. We'll be back January 16th, 2022.
The mainstay for you guys, it's you, Maverick, and CyberYeti, correct? That's sort of like the core group, and then you guys have a few others that are a part of it.
The core group is me, Cyber, and E Dukes. That's the top. That's the boss, underboss, and concierge of the group. As you see here on my shirt. You see here on my shirt.
Did I
meet the whole deal?
CyberYeti? Is that his name? I think I misheard you.
Don't disrespect the underboss here, sir.
No disrespect, but he must be under the desk.
Cyber, you need to Cyber.
We gotta get Cyber
now. You need to come out of that black hole and come at this man's neck, or at least take out his teeth, for that matter.
Well, I can do that myself.
I think I need
really
to
interrupted.
I need to get on the predictions the next time, not Joe.
Well,
right now, we're gonna have
Rumble.
Right now, you're gonna have to wait in line for a little.
Let's have some Christmas chaos between the Irish Whip and off the top rope.
Are you challenging us? Are you saying that? And this man, Big J, he's not even gonna be there. So that's like an unfair advantage, even if he did show up.
Even if he did show up, I get a kiddie table.
Well, at least one thing is Cyber's not going to be there with us. So at least you got to worry about that. You can dream about this in your sleep. But other than that...
why doesn't he hop on some cattle and walk his way up here from Texas?
Because that'll take him like 3 weeks to do that.
That would take a bit.
It's probably safer than Spirit.
Safer than Spirit. What? Damn, you catch us on YouTube, catch us on Anchor. Damn, what the hell's going on? Yeah, YouTube, Anchor, Google Podcast, Radio Public Podcast, Breaker Podcast, Spotify, Podbean, Audio, Stitcher, Castbox, and Pocket Cast.
It might be easier to say wherever podcasts can be found.
That can be found in where, but that's all that you need to know. Bonfire.com/store/Off the Top Roast Podcast for the merch, and new secondary store at teesprings.com as well. Search bar Off the Top Roast.
You guys got some cool, like, I love the shirt you got on, but I wouldn't put Joe on a shirt.
I'll be on a shirt. No, as long as it's a silhouette like that.
I won't put you on a shirt.
The only place my mug has to be is on the bottom of a mug.
So, but no, listen, BlackHart, this wasn't planned. This was like, just you were there. We said, fuck it, let's bring them in. Literally how that went. And you clicked on the link and you came on. So
and I came on.
And you guys
came on. Well, just like that.
You guys got the same vibes we have where everything's good and fucking just have some fun and talk some crap.
And I won't put it out to the CyberYeti. I hope he does know that I'm serious.
Joe, there's a good chance we're going to Texas in April.
I know.
Oh, are you? Oh, wait.
There's a good chance.
I might need to give him a heads up. Like, yo, B, listen, they're gonna be down there for WrestleMania weekend, bro. So if you run into them while you down there, hey, I'm giving you full carte blanche to do whatever you want. They disrespecting you live, and I'm sorry, bro.
There's no disrespect.
Everybody gotta fight their own shit, but at the same time, Big Joe,
disrespect. It's verbal judo.
But Big Joe, as a courtesy call, I'm gonna have to knock out the missing front teeth or the loose front teeth out your mouth for Cyber in his defense because I gotta do it for him.
Do it, Joe. Do it. Show him.
I don't think you can reach that high, Shorty.
Joe, show him. Show him, Joe. Show him.
I don't think you can reach up that high.
I'll have to bring some pliers next week.
For those that are just listening,
I'll bring some pliers with me next week. Then I'm gonna be like, okay, then.
You gotta remember, I have underwear.
And then run out the door with it.
We'll have Vince Russo booking it. It'll be a teeth on him pole match.
Oh no! Don't let Vince Russo do that.
I'm gonna pull him out.
Let Eric Bishop book that match because he'll overbook it like a motherfucker.
There'll be 3 NWO run-ins.
Oh my god!
So, but
fellas, help me!
BlackHart, thank you, Joe. It's been fun.
It's been fun, and much like CyberYeti, he's not real.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say much like CyberYeti, we're out.
No, he's not out. No, he's in. He should stay in. It's past his curfew. All right.
Joe's terrible. I can't wait to run into you next week.
Hey, so if we do go down there in April and we do meet up with him, will he have to have his mother with him for a chaperone?
Oh my god. No.
Will he be wearing one of those bear backpacks with a leash on it?
Yo, he's probably gonna dress up like Hogan trying to.
Because when we were on the show with you guys, he was sitting next to a bouncy seat. Little.
Yeah, but that was for hold on. What episode?
No, he's in like a little saucer, he couldn't get out of it. He's running around the floor, bouncing into walls.
No, it's not even like that, folks. Don't even think that. CyberYeti is one educated, smart motherfucker. But at the same goddamn time, he will rash your ass out.
I know, and it's just fun to mess with him.
You guys start your fucking little trivia thing. I want to be on it as a contestant.
Oh yeah, I was going to reach out to y'all anyway to be like, yo, listen, man, I'm developing this trivia game show as part of like the essential of the pod and shit like that. Whatever. When I get the thing tweaked out, boom, boom, I'm gonna hit you guys up and be like, yo, what do you guys should come on and be as a contestant? Then I'll be like, all right, word.
You know what's good is it's pretty cheap to ship from Salty to Salty. So I mean, when you send the belt or the trophy my way, you don't have to send it far.
Nah, JP, I'll drive. We'll go get it.
Nah, y'all gonna be fighting over a new belt that's in the works right now. So
all right.
Something that I'm gonna be cooking up just for that trivia show. So it gives a little bit more reason to fight for it.
Is he gonna have a little bit of toilet paper on it for the Yeti?
Nope, it ain't gonna be on toilet paper at all. It's gonna be a little glitter and
pacifier because he sucks.
Yo, stop coming at him like that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening.
Stop coming at that man like that, man. Respect that man.
Thing is, I would do the same thing if he was here now.
Listen, if he really was here, I definitely would have gave him the full. I'm like, yo, Cyber, let it rip.
Oh, yeah.
This is your tirade moment. You better come at this man's neck, or otherwise, I'm gonna look at you funny.
Yeah, yeah. He has to. Like, he has to.
Like, I have to.
He's gonna come at my chin. He better pick one. I got a couple.
He needs to come at the neck. He needs to just snap the neck apart and just let you just flop on the floor.
Our boys, and you can't tell they're our boys, but our boys over at OTTR got a hell of their podcast is a lot like ours. It's just a couple of dudes having some fun talking about wrestling, talking trash.
But we are a mob over here on the side's house, son. Plus, with some special delicacy because the Shark, the first lady of the podcast, be there as well.
Do you know what our hashtag is?
Hey.
Our hashtag for about the last 4 years has been hashtag TIW Mafia.
See, ours is just part. Ours is podcast mob. That's it.
Well, listen,
podcast mob, podcast mafia. There's only two hashtags that we've been using ever since we developed the mafia concept here, because of the growing foundation of the podcast with more members as time grew on, when more people came in and like this NWO thing it's kind of it's going to get cliche out, but I would have shifted to something that I know that I deeply love. And I'm a huge mafia buff.
Yeah,
myself. So
as far as
we kind of grew up in it though.
As far as NWO colors,
hey,
green, white, and orange, baby. We're green, white, and orange. We're
Black Mafia family over here, son. Thank you very much.
But you never heard of the Irish, so you don't call the Irish Mafia the Irish Mob. So that's why we went with the TIW Mafia, because it's the Irish Whip Mafia over the mob.
Boys. Very creative,
you know what?
Boys.
You're part of our mafia, BlackHart.
You are.
We're just a part of a.
That's
well. If you really want to think of it that way, we're just two families coming together.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Two families just coming together.
You're the consigliere for the other family.
That's it. But here's the thing. You know, when two families come together like that, when you mess with one family, you know the other family's right there with them.
Mm-hmm.
We might have little conversations with each other like Joe and CyberYeti, but at the end of the day, it's all family.
Right. It's all nothing but love.
See what you said, like the mob. For when it comes to CyberYeti, you can take away the M and add two other letters, and add an S and an L, because he's a slob.
Joe,
leave the man alone. Leave the man alone. Leave the man alone.
CyberYeti.
Cyber. Next time when they lie, please, you need to just go in that in that chat box.
I will message CyberYeti. The invitation's open to him whenever he wants to come on, because we owe it to him. We owe it to him.
I mean, listen, when he was OTTR champion, he was gloating and showboating and all this other shit. It was his reign. It was his time. And I sat back in the midst. I'm like, let him have his moment. So when I know when to strike, I'm gonna get my title back. Let him have his moment. But anyway, so whatever the atmosphere was then, it's gonna still be there because obviously, Joe. Obviously, you should be going back and forth anyway. So
it's all in fun.
Yeah,
seriously,
that's all.
Fun.
Man. Yeah, man. That Twitter talk, man, between y'all, man. I be just sitting
back.
I
don't really think he's that bad.
I be laughing my ass off, man. Just read y'all shit. I'd be like, these two motherfuckers, bro. Keep the kayfabe alive, folks. Keep kayfabe alive.
So I'm gonna put this up one more time.
Yes.
Oh,
hold on, Joe. I'm gonna
Inventory crisis line.
I'm not showing you, Joe. I was trying to show you big and it didn't work.
Oh my God.
All right.
That's guys, if you're in that boat, it's the holiday season is tough on a lot of people. That's why we're showing that right now. And like I said, our DMs are open, but we are not professionals. We will recommend you go speak to a professional, but we will let you vent to us. So
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So on that note, guys, on behalf of JP and BlackHart and CyberYeti, see you next Thursday.
Fuck.